Jai Sriman Narayan. Jai Sriman Narayan. I pay my obeisances to my spiritual master, Srimad Jagadguru Sudarshan Acharyaji Maharaj. I pay my obeisances to Lord Sri Ramanuj. I pay my obeisances to the Purva Acharyas. I pay my obeisances to the 12 Alvars. I pay my obeisances to Mother Lakshmi. And I pay my obeisances to Lord Sriman Narayan. I welcome Lord Sriman Narayan on this, the last day of the Sri Krishna Janmashtami celebrations in his form as Lord Sri Krishna at the Sri Narayan Dham specifically, and his appearance in this planet and universe in these last 9 days, 8 days. I welcome those that's watching this discourse locally, nationally and internationally, and I welcome in advance those that's going to be watching this discourse in the various groups and YouTube when it is posted subsequently. We have acknowledged in this series of discourses the appearance of the Creator within His creation, and we have shown with scriptural injunctions the reasons that the Creator has to enter His creation and the outcome of His intervention. Today, being the last day, I want to conclude by stating that this great epic, the Mahabharat, which I will be reading the entire night tonight. Chris, you can close the gates. Okay. Tonight, the entire night, Jai Bhai, we will run through the Mahabharat. And I don't think it's a problem for any married man to hear the Mahabharat in one sitting. You all hear it daily, don't you? We're satisfied? Okay. So there's nothing strenuous about hearing the Mahabharat. Okay? The Mahabharat is the gross form. The Mahabharat is the gross manifestation of the scriptural injunction. Gross manifestation of the scriptural injunction. You know mathematics, arithmetic and abstract maths. You heard of abstract maths? Jai, have we done abstract mathematical equations? 2x minus 3y, where x and y is abstract, and 2 and 3 is gross, it is tangible, it can be seen and felt and calculated, and the x and the y is abstract. So the gross manifestation of the scriptural injunction is the Mahabharat, wherein the Creator Himself appears in a gross form to explain His spirituality. The Creator Himself appears in a gross form to explain His spirituality. his spirituality which contains material nature, spiritual nature, and the living entities or the souls. All these are attributes of the Supreme Lord. The soul, the individual soul, the infinite individual soul is an attribute of the Supreme Lord. Material nature and all the elements contained within it is the attribute of the Supreme Lord. The combination of these two results in the material universes. Combination of the spiritual soul and the material nature, when you combine these two, it gives you material universes. And the Lord then enters this material universe and describes his spiritual injunctions in gross form. He does it twice. He did it earlier on in the Ramayana, and then which was in Treta Yuga, and he does this again in the Mahabharat in Dwapara Yuga. So there are three dimensions: spiritual, subtle, and gross. There are three dimensions in this universe: spiritual, subtle, and gross. The earthly dimension is a combination of subtle and gross. The heavenly dimension is subtle, and the hellish dimension is gross. And this is absolute science. Whether you acknowledge or not, you on planet Earth experience this throughout your lifetime as a human being. Each one of you experience this phenomena throughout your human life. So it is a story of two brothers. Which two brothers, Venita? Pandu?
Pandu and Kaurava.
Yes. Okay, and the Kaurava was, his name was Rasta. Drita Rashtra, meaning how many directions? Okay, I'm going to leave some questions unanswered. Alright. So these were two brothers, and I stated the Lord manifests from the subtle to the gross, and the Devis and Devtas also manifest from the subtle to the gross to help Lord Sriman Narayan enact precedence, spiritual precedence, enact spiritual precedence. Like in a court of law, if you arrest Dana for driving over age, then we have to find a precedent if anyone else was charged driving over the age of driving. Dana, was anyone charged over the age of driving? No such law. So although we charge Dana with that crime, his case, Jessica, what will happen? Will be dismissed. Why?
Because there's no precedent for this.
there is no precedent. So the Lord, to ensure that his regulative principles are intact, he enters the material atmosphere with the Devis and Devas to enact precedents. And then, when these precedents are enacted, then it runs as a constitution for mankind. As a constitution for mankind, and the Mahabharat or the Ramayana becomes a point of reference. Becomes a point of reference. All of you understand? And the Lord does it himself, and he ensures that the authors or compilers are present with him. So in the Ramayana, Valmiki was present when Lord Ram enacted the precedents, and in the Mahabharat, Vedavyas witnessed the entire Mahabharat, and he is the compiler of the Mahabharat, written by Lord Ganesha. Okay, so we set in the background. So this gross epic, the battle of Kurukshetra and the entire Mahabharat took place 5,000 years ago. Precedents are set. It had to take place in a gross form to set the precedent. It had to take place in a gross form for the Lord himself to set the precedent. So how does that gross manifestation of the Supreme Lord and the Devis and Devtas 5,000 years ago, and this continues to happen in every Dwapara Yuga, how does it affect our lives today? Are there Devis and Devtas in the gross form that you can see on this planet Earth? Tana? Can you see any of them? Can you see any of the gross demons on this planet Earth? Tana? Answer.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, you cannot see gross demons, Dana. Alright, but Dana can see a whole lot of things. He's past his age. Dana is in that dimension where he will be seeing a lot of things. Alright? Coming back, how is the Mahabharat relevant as a legal, spiritual, scriptural injunction today? Remember, we have always been stating that Lord Sriman Narayan is absolute. And if he appeared in his gross form 5,000 years ago, and in order for him to be absolute, then the Mahabharat must be relevant yesterday, today, and tomorrow. But we are stating all the demons beside Dana has left, and there are no Devis and Devtas. Jai Bhai, how do we synthesize this apparent contradiction?
You need that document to verify facts.
So, you think I rightly suggested that I read the entire Mahabharat tonight. Vaishnav, you ready? You haven't been in school since ages. Are you understanding our predicament? The Mahabharat is absolute, and from this Mahabharat, Lord Sri Krishna milked the Bhagavad Gita. Did he not? So the Mahabharat is the gross manifestation and the milking of the Upanishads is the Bhagavad Gita. That is a subtle scriptural injunction. Bhagavad Gita is a subtle scriptural injunction that can be understood by those who have merits to understand the Bhagavad Gita. And those who do not have merits to understand the Bhagavad Gita, they have the Mahabharat as a gross manifestation to understand. That is one dimension to view this great epic. And another deeper, more subtle meaning of this epic is that everyone, what was Kaurava's son's name? Duryodhan. How many brothers did he have? 99. These were 100 brothers. 100 sons of Rashtra. The other brother was Pandu. How many sons did he have? 5 sons. 5 sons on one end. Pandu was a personification of absolute purity. Purity in the subtle form, Pandu in the gross form. The manifestation of purity in gross form was Pandu, and because he was in absolute purity, he gave birth to 5 noble sons. Drashtarashtra was always thinking, accepting and rejecting. His mind was not fixed. His mind was not fixed. And because his wife had a pang of jealousy when she was pregnant, instead of giving birth to a child, she gave birth to a lump of flesh. Pang of jealousy, she gave birth to a lump of flesh. And it was Vedavyas, the compiler of this great epic, who read a mantra, sprinkled some water, took 100 jars and put this flesh, divided it into 100 pieces and one more piece, and there was a daughter. And this is the first test tube scientifically test tube set of living entities being born in this universe. Not what scientists are tinkering with, Satish Bhai. That funny headed fish you showed me. Alright. Lord Sriman Narayan as Vedavyas, he initiated this science. Okay. And the first son, jealous mother, gives birth to a lump of flesh which is divided 101 times. The first son is Duryodhan, and he has 99 brothers. Kali Yuga, gross, a portion of the gross personification of Kali Yuga is Duryodhan. A manifestation of a portion of Kali Yuga, this season of evil. This season of evil manifested itself as Duryodhan. And the 99 test tube children were Rakshas, were personification of Rakshas. Because the seminal father, his mind was not fixed. His mind was not fixed. An unfixed mind, a wavering mind, gives birth to Jay. But that Rakshas now we cannot experience. Jay, have you seen a Rakshas anywhere? Have you seen a Devi and Devta, the 5 noble Pandavas anywhere? Sugars, you have seen in your police work, Pandavas and Rakshas. You saw them? Okay, Sugars saw them, right? But these gross manifestations cannot be seen. Which means they are in a subtle form. And they reside in your mind. Jai. Duryodhan and these 99 Rakshas is residing in the mind of every human being. And Pandava and his 5 noble children are also residing in the mind of every human being. So this battle of Kurukshetra transforms itself in reverse from gross to subtle. And in every head there's a Kurukshetra. In every head there's a battle of Kurukshetra. And what is Lord Sri Krishna stating, which has been misinterpreted by the West? Russia had a problem with the Bhagavad Gita, because if you misinterpret our scriptures, then definitely you're going to have a problem. And Russia had a problem that Lord Sri Krishna was inciting violence. Throughout the Bhagavad Gita, Lord Sri Krishna is advising Arjuna to kill the Kauravas. Is he not?
Which Kauravas is he advising to kill, Jayabhai?
The ones in your mind.
The ones in your mind. The ones in your mind. That 99 Rakshas and a portion of Kali Yuga. 99 Rakshas and a portion of Kali Yuga, which has taken its residence in your mind, can be killed by the 5 noble divinities. 5 noble divinities. Can it not? It happened in the Bhagavad Gita. 5 truths annihilated 100 untruths. Is the penny dropping, Jessica? Jayabhai, did the penny drop? Anyone else? Penny dropping? Sean, did the penny drop? Vasan, did the dollars drop? Vasan is only here for money. Dollars. When he sees the Guru, he only sees dollar signs. All of you, did the penny drop? This battle is raging within you every millisecond. This battle is raging within every individual human being, every second. Even Satish Bhai, before Jessica attacks you, she's attacked herself. Alright? You are only the secondary attack. Alright? Only the secondary attack. Within her own mind, there's a great war playing out. The Mahabharat. The Mahabharat has been playing out in every individual mind from the birth up until death. If you are jealous and envious of other people's health, wealth and prosperity, this will give birth to Rakshas in your head. It will give birth to Rakshas and Duryodhan in your head. And eventually that battle within will destroy you. Not only in this lifetime, in many lifetimes to come. So when you look at all the snakes around, you know why they are snakes. When you look at all the elephants around, you can, through this discourse, understand the 8.4 million species of life form. It was that battle of Kurukshetra in the mind that gave them this 8.4 million gross bodies. So when the Guru has stated that the world is Lord Narayan's classroom, some of you were mystified. And when the Guru stated that Lord Sriman Narayan is the source of all sciences, some of you were mystified. Today I'm producing scriptural injunctions to justify these declarations that I have made. These declarations that I have made. And I hope that this series of discourses in this Sri Krishna Janmashtami week will make an indelible life change. It must be called the game changer. Jai Bhai, you heard of the terminology game changer. So the game of life continues. You can change the game for yourself. There is a big game, and then there is your individual game. This switch to change the game is in your mind. You switch the game to the Pandavas, you'll be successful. You switch the game to the Kauravas, you'll pay a very, very heavy price. Not only in this time. It will take millions of lifetimes to extricate yourself from that karma. This is not a warning. This is an absolute truth. This is not a warning. This is an absolute truth. And I've stated previously, whether you believe in this truth or do not believe in the truth, doesn't matter. Like the law of gravity, this truth continues to exist. Even if there are no human entities on this planet Earth, this truth will continue to exist. And this truth has a life of its own. These injunctions are alive 24/7, and it has been alive in this creation for 155 trillion years. And it has another 155 trillion years to go on. And if you have this information satisfied, then you can choose to continue for the next 155 trillion years, or you can choose to change the game. Jai Sriman Narayan.